and mankind. Professor Underpants.
Professor Poopy Pants. In Spanish, Professor Pipi Caca.
A popular name in Switzerland, you said.
It's one of the most popular children's names around the world, I think.
Yeah.
Baby
Right?
name.
Yes. Yeah. So, before I watched the film, I thought we were in a political correctness era. And obviously not.
Apparently not. we regressed.
Yeah. It is adapted from a very popular book series. It was a tough challenge to do the adaptation.
Yes and no. I mean, we spoke with the author, Dave Filkey, early on in the process a number of times, and I was a big fan of the books. I first encountered the books 20 years ago. I saw the first copy on a bookshelf and picked it up and thought, this is pretty funny, and flipped through it. Before I knew it, I was halfway through the book in the aisle of the store and thought it was fantastic. I wish I came up with this idea. So the books have been so popular, so there was a little bit of, nervousness about just making sure the fans were satisfied. But Dave, when he met with us and saw the artwork that Nate was doing and some of the direction with the story that we were going in, he really said, he really empowered us to do what we needed to do to make the best version of this movie we could, and felt like we were capturing the spirit of what he was doing, and also said that he really dislikes movies that are just word-for-word adaptations, because they're boring, right? There's nothing new about the movie. So he really encouraged us to come up with new stuff, do what we could to improve on it, and make it work as a movie. So that took a lot of the burden off of kind of us feeling anxiety about it, and just, we could do our thing, and he trusted us, and that was a great compliment.
There is different techniques in the film, different aesthetics in the film. It was a challenge to blend everything and to find a sort of homogeneity in the look of the film.
Yeah, I mean, it was already a challenge. I mean, a fun challenge, just adapting Pilkey's style into a CG sort of animation style, and then with David coming up with ideas like, let's do a sequence in sock puppets. It was like, okay, so now we have to adapt these characters into sock puppets and also 2D animation. And so it actually was just the more styles that we came up with where it just ended up being more and more fun. And Pilkey already does that in different ways in his books with like the fliporama and kind of his unconventional method of writing. So we just kind of took the ideas and ran with it, and we had such great support from David and our producers and everything, so it was a lot of fun.
Nate did a really wonderful job, and his art team and the crew at Migros as well, of taking the style that was kind of the core of the CG look and making it all consistent, even among the 2D stuff, even among the sock puppets. There's kind of a consistency in the quality of the work and the tone of the work, so that it all kind of feels like it's of George and Harold's world.
The production of the film was very different than what you usually do at DreamWorks, because most of the work was done outside the studio, abroad, in Canada, in France, in Paris, and there was a third place, or?
LA.
LA, yeah, a little bit in LA. Is it a challenge? You were based in LA, you were based in Montreal for most of the production?
Yeah, I was in LA. I was sort of between all of the places.
Okay.
Spent a good time in Montreal, some time in LA, and some time with the team in France as well. And yeah, it was fun. I mean, we had such great teams in all three locations that it really was a joy to be able to work with all the different people in all the different areas that we were producing this film.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real, the whole objective with the movie as we were starting on it was to see if we could change the paradigm a little bit of how we make these movies, obviously bring the costs down, but kind of think of it more like, at least the way I think of it, is almost like we made an indie movie, which you just don't really get to make much of in animation because you need a lot of people and a lot of talent. So we, you know, when I came on, our other producer, Soren, said, this is going to be like guerrilla filmmaking. And I loved it. I mean, I loved the speed in which we worked. We had about a 2-year production on this, really most of it happening in the last year.
Yeah.
So there was really no time to second guess things. I mean, we literally didn't have a single shot in the movie thrown out. Which I mean, for those who know animation, that's
It's an accomplishment.
yeah, kind of huge for movies in general.
Yeah.
And in part, that was the speed we were going at, and in part, you know, we really just had to commit, and the studio kind of embraced that approach and you know, front-loaded their notes, but let us, you know, creatively drive this thing as fast as we could and you know, and with the best quality that we could as well.
The film was released in North America 2 weeks ago. I had a look at the box office number and it's going well. So do you plan a second epic movie?
I don't know yet. I will find out over the weeks to come. I was in a press conference recently with our cast, and they asked a very similar question, and Ed Helms immediately said, "Well, he signed up for the first 30 epic movies." So we'll see. You know, we had a blast making it, so it would be fun to do more.
Yeah, I think in a way you just want to spend more time with the characters. They were so fun to spend the time with them during the movie, even all the way up until the end, right? With the secretary who's on hold, so you want to just see more adventures, right? Which is one thing that's been great about all of Dave's books. There's all of these fun, different twists and turns that the characters go through.
David, Nate, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.